Let's start by talking about the shapes of distributions. So these are all histograms, and their shape can tell us what's going on with their central tendency. So what's going on with their mean, median, and mode. So each one of these has a special name. So this first shape that we're going to look at is our uniform. So we call this one uniform because, as you can see, the heights of each of our frequencies is the same. So it's like they're all wearing the same uniform. Next, our most important one, and we're going to spend some more time in just a second talking about this, is the normal, or sometimes it's called the binomial. And with the normal distribution here, our mean, median, and mode are all right here in the middle. Notice that's the tallest point, so that would be our mode. Our median's right here. We got half of the data to the below it or to the left, and half above or to the right. And our mean would also be in the middle here. Like I said, we're going to talk about this some more in just a second. But a normal distribution is a lot of times what we call grading on a curve is the common term for this, where we want to force the majority of the data to be in our middle and less data on either end. Next, we've got our bimodal. Remember, the mode is what occurs the most. So this bimodal actually has two modes. So it has two high points. It's kind of like you separate the data into a high and a low. They each have a mode. One example that we commonly give is if you look at test data in the classroom, say these would be the students, there's a mode for the students who did not spend a lot of time studying, and then there's a separate mode for the students who did spend time studying. Our last two are kind of the fun guys. I think they're kind of cute. This guy is called Skewed Left. The reason he's skewed left is because he has what we call a tail over to the left-hand side. So the direction has to do with the tail. And it's kind of silly, but I remember it because I think about being kind of like a big blob monster. You know, like, it's coming to get you. And his tail's on the left-hand side. So he's skewed left. What this means is there's data that's really, really low compared to everything else. And it's pulling our mean away from the median. So the median is not affected by highs and lows in data as easily as the mean is. So for example, going back to that test that I did with the bimodal, most of the class would be average here, but then we have a student who just really, really bombed the test, made like a 5 or 6. That's going to take my mean, and instead of my mean being in the middle, like it was up here with the normal distribution, my mean's going to get lower down and be more toward the left. So that's why it's skewed left. That tail is pulling the mean down. Now its partner is going to be skewed right. Skewed right has our tail to the right-hand side. So you have something that's a really, really, really high data, and it's pulling our mean, instead of being in the middle, our mean's going to be pulled toward the right side.